should domestic violence victims be able to get firearms for protection?
I think they should, because it was a situation where a girl she met a guy online. They went out on a date. She said he was cool, but she let him know that she didn't want to go on further dates, that they could be just friends. But she don't see it going anywhere as far as a relationship. This man stalked her, hounded her, because he was like, you said I'm a good guy, but if I'm such a good guy, why am I not good enough for you or whatever? And she just basically was like, you'll be better off with someone else. You know, we're not compatible, but we can be friends. She filed a police report. She filed a restraining order. He threatened her by creating fake pages, saying he's going to find out where she's at. And she eventually moved because he showed up at a location. And she was just like, I can't do this. She had to quit her job, everything. And she was like, she was completely against guns because her father was killed. So she was completely against it and everything, but she just was like, I need to get a gun. I need to get a gun. She got a gun. She slept in her living room, and just miraculously, he sent her a note saying that he knew where she lived with all the information. She called the police, told them. They were like, they'll deal with it. And he actually broke into her house, and she killed him. Like, what if she did not have that? It just seemed like in some situations.
How about this? How about women who have dealt with domestic violence issues just invest in a good man that's going to protect them? And I only say this to say is sometimes the trauma that you went through in that particular situation may, and this is, I'm not trying to take the attention off the situation that happened, but I think in sometimes men get wrongfully titled as certain situations based off of past situations. Like, the man's intention may not mean to be aggressive, but because the person that you dealt with was so verbally abusive, any instance in that man's demeanor that may come off aggressive towards you may bring that trauma up so much so that you may put yourself in a tough situation that he may not have meant to bring that situation to you. So maybe if you do say, okay, should a person be allowed to carry a weapon, make sure their mental is intact and they fully recovered from whatever the situation is. Because I also believe that sometimes men could be wrongfully accused in that situation when that may not even been. They may just had a flashback. Okay. That's almost like that's what I mean. So I don't want anyone who's listening or watching.
You're basically saying that you don't see anything wrong with it, but make sure that person is mentally prepared.
Yeah, make sure your trauma
to deal with it so that you don't take it out on the wrong person, thinking that it's that person because it's something that they said when in actuality it could. Okay, that's understandable. Like making sure somebody's mental is intact, that they're fully aware and understanding that, not everybody is that person because you may shoot the wrong person type situation.
You may kill somebody who didn't deserve to be murdered.
Okay. But I'm just saying when it comes in the standpoint of, and that's not to say that it's women only, because you have men who are in domestic violence situations as well. Mm-hmm. But it's just that, you can go to the law enforcement to call them about things, and things that happen. Mm-hmm. But what about when they don't come? Like, prime example, when I had a situation at work, and I called the police for the guy, and we sitting there literally 45 minutes, he looking at me, look at him, look at me, like, what? After I done told him he need to leave, whatever, and I done called the police twice, and they say once the unit's available, they'll be there. And I'm like, what? I said, so if I was in this joint dead by the time they get here, if that was to be the situation, how would you explain that? So it's just like, it's sad to say that people should be prepared. It's better be prepared than unprepared for the unknown. Because right now, the situations that we are in, the things we're facing, from carjackings to not being able to walk across the street, not being able to honk the horn before somebody lashing out, shooting at somebody. It was just the thought of how many domestic violence situations could have been avoided if somebody could have better protected themselves. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like you saying, how about invest in a man? What if I invest in a man and then the situation come, homeboy pull up and the man that I'm investing in is there and he pull out a gun and this man hide behind me? Like, how does that make sense? It shouldn't be invested into somebody for them to protect you. You should be able to also protect yourself and vice versa. Mm. Like, if somebody was to bust up in the house and you're not here, I should be able to protect the home as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
So, invested in a man, the man ain't gonna always be here.
So it says, how many domestic violence cases end in gun violence? Say we must do more to protect individuals, the vast majority of whom are women, experience domestic violence. We know that firearms are used in over 50% of intimate partner homicides. And then right here it says, in every month, an average of 57 women are killed with a firearm by an intimate partner. It says, while men suffer even higher rates of gun violence, women are often targeted for violence because of their sex and are frequently victims of people they know well. Every month, an average of 57 women are killed with a firearm. The impact of gun violence against women goes beyond fatal encounters.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's
what the motherfucking pussy can do.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why I say pussy is power.
But I had a situation recently, and I'm glad this topic came up. There's an employee at work, and she complained to me about feeling uncomfortable with a man, but from a different bar that's in the area. And I also, when she approached me, I had already in the past observed him kind of be a little weird towards women. So she went downstairs, I guess not happy with my response to her complaint. And I had walked over to the dude and just explained to him, just chill out. And I didn't feel the need to have to go into further details about what I meant by chill out, because I had already developed a relationship with him. Like we had seen each other over 10 times. We have had like brief conversations, so he understood how I operate. But the problem was, she went and had a conversation. She really didn't go and have a conversation with another man, but he had overheard it. So he tried to come up to me and check me.
Who?
Just listen to me. He tried to come up to me and check me. So then the humble Mike wasn't no humble no more. I had to remind him and say, first of all, bro, you see me all the time. I respect you. Please respect me. He's still trying to explain to me. And in a moment, my ego kind of got in the way. But then I had to remind myself, I have a daughter, right? And I at the end, after we talked, and dude's got me by 20, 25 years at least. Probably like, not even 20, probably like 15 years. And I just explained to him, I said, bro, what you fail to realize, this person, you know, she does a little bit too much when she gets drunk. I said, I've seen her behavior when she gets drunk, and sometimes she can overreact to situations because I personally seen it happen multiple times. I said, but just to let you know, even though I don't have to let you know, I did have a conversation with him. He then went on to explain to me that he witnessed the harassment at the other bar, and that he checked dude, and he said dude's a pussy. And I said, I agree with you, but I said at the end of the day, she works for this particular place. I can't just overreact to a situation and I didn't witness it. I can see if I witnessed it and I can be like, man, you Slim, you gotta chill or you got to go. But when I was called to the situation, I didn't witness it, but I still approached dude not knowing exactly what happened and just told him to chill out. That's all I said. And he said, yes, sir, and he moved on. So respectfully, I said, the people that come in this establishment understood. And so what's understood don't need to be explained. So we step outside, we have a nice long conversation, and I'm explaining it to him. He said, I didn't know that. I said, I do know she gets a little over the top. I say, yeah, she does, and sometimes she tends to just go to help me, when in a situation she possibly could have avoided it. But instead she left, and that's still no excuse. I think and I said this plenty of times on this podcast, I think sometimes women need men to step up more often in corporate spaces to protect them, because sometimes for every 10 men, there's 4 to 5 creeps that they just don't use common sense and they don't understand when they're going too far. But me per se, my wife say I'm a super saver hoe.
Did you just say that,
hoe? I ain't say nobody. Not this time. I ain't say nobody. I explained my position. No, I protected myself, because don't approach me like that without understanding the situation in totality.
I'm saying that in the standpoint of I'm hearing this on a podcast.
About dude approaching me?
Because of what she said, and you did your part, but I guess she don't feel like what you did was enough. So she had to go do the woe is me, like you said, save me. Yeah. Because then that would have been a whole nother situation. Cool.
I don't want it to be a whole nother situation.
Because it's a situation where I'm hearing is they come to you for you because they like, well, I can go to Mike, he'll listen. You get what I'm saying? He'll help support. But they also put themselves in situations, like you said, that could have been avoided. But it's let me do this and then let me go to Mike once it's gone too far after I done probably did X, Y, and Z.
Nah, this wasn't that situation.
But I'm saying...
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
it's...
But she basically... Whatever happened in Clyde's, it happened in Clyde's. And that's all I can respond to.
I get it, but what I'm saying
the harassment didn't initially start in Clyde's.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, she said something to you, and because she didn't like how you responded, even though you do your job, she had to go get somebody else involved.
No, I don't. I honestly, I'm not explaining it well. She didn't really go up to him. He just so happened to be in the area when she was explaining it to another co-worker, and he basically would say, "Oh, so this dude at it again," based off of what he saw when they was at that bar the other day. That's what I'm. And when I was coming down the stairs, he was actually on his way upstairs past me to have a conversation with dude again.
Well, that's how you should have explained it.
So let me
explain it.
I seen it. I'm trying to get you back there. You about to have me
go smack the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, I don't want you to smack nobody.
Them bitches need to protect themselves.
Again, that? I'm still.
That's where you just got me at.
Yeah, I don't want to be like that. I'm sorry. No, I mean I didn't explain it properly. God. Ooh. Okay, I'm glad you up there. Hey, but remember, you did that same thing. What? You didn't call me when Slim was up there until after the fact. So keep that same energy.
That one dang
on.
I'm like,
that don't matter.
You go, how many years ago was that?
No, I'm talking about the dude that was at your job recently.
Oh. Somebody was worried about his ass.
It don't matter. Exactly.